We have some new information tonight on a COVID-19 outbreak just released to us by the Mid-Ohio Valley Health Department. Health officials say 6 residents and 2 employees at the Wingate Senior Living Community have tested positive for COVID-19. Of the 6 residents, health officials say 1 person is being treated for pneumonia. The others are said to have a low-grade fever but no other symptoms. There's no information about the 2 employees. All residents have been quarantined and have been provided with surgical masks to wear when staff members enter their rooms. The West Virginia National Guard has already completed testing of all the facility's residents and employees. New tonight, health officials say the number of deaths statewide in West Virginia has risen 61% since August 1st. The 8 deaths reported today brings the state's total to 187 since the pandemic began. In the past few days, COVID-19 cases at the medium security correctional facility in St. Mary's have risen sharply. The number of positive cases at the St. Mary's Correctional Center is now 244. Like Todd mentioned, now that Washington County is red on Ohio's COVID-19 advisory map, a local health official is reacting to the change. Ann Goon, the commissioner of the Marietta-Belpre City Health Department, says she wasn't surprised by the change announced this afternoon. Goon says beds in intensive care units at hospitals across the region are filling up with patients fighting the virus. Yesterday, county health officials posted a graphic on Facebook showing that 1 out of 30 Washington County residents had COVID-19. Parkersburg firefighters put out an abandoned house fire this morning. It's the 24th abandoned house fire this year in the city. It happened in the 1200 block of Latrobe Street around 9:15. Fire Chief Jason Matthews says crews saw flames when they got there. It took about 15 minutes for the flames to be knocked down, and firefighters had stopped wetting hot spots by noon. The fire chief says there is evidence of people staying in the abandoned house because they saw mattresses. No one was hurt. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Phyllis Smith. We have some breaking news tonight. Officials late this afternoon confirmed single positive COVID-19 cases at Parkersburg and Parkersburg South High Schools. A spokesman for Wood County Schools says the district was notified of the cases by the Mid-Ohio Valley Health Department. Officials didn't say whether the cases involved students or employees. And at this time, they say there are no public health recommendations to isolate or quarantine anyone. The health department and school leaders say they're working together to identify anyone who may have had close contact with the people who tested positive. Schools will stay open on Friday, though students will not be in their classrooms because it's a scheduled day for remote learning. Wood County Schools has had previous positive cases at Blennerhassett, Martin, and Mineral Wells elementary schools. At the scene of a head-on crash last night that ended with 1 driver being flown by a helicopter to the hospital, it wasn't just professional first responders who helped. Laura Bowen explains. One couple from Little Hocking is celebrating a big milestone. It's their 70th wedding anniversary. Bill and Betty Lowe were married on October 7th, 1950. The 2 first met at church while he was home from the service on furlough. They began writing to each other shortly after meeting each other. They were married about a year later. The couple says that their long and happy marriage is driven by their faith. The Wood County Commission recognizes one of WTAP's own this morning. Commissioners Bob Teeby, Jimmy Colombo, and Blair Couch presented Todd Boucher with the Spirit of Wood County Award. The award honors Todd for his 4 decades of working as a journalist here at WTAP and for his contributions and coverage of stories across the Mid-Ohio Valley. Washington County schools returned to in-person learning Monday. School officials say it's not only important to keep children safe, but also to check on their mental health. The Ohio House plans to vote Thursday to remove the disgraced speaker arrested last week in connection with a $60 million federal bribery probe.